Hey guys, it's Ben here at the Strength Factory and welcome to the latest episode of Factory Knowledge, which is my weekly YouTube series where I talk all things action sports training and performance. So for many of you who are mountain bikers, motocross racers, things like that, it's the end of summer and that means the end of the race season. And at this time of year, it's really important to do a little assessment of how your season's gone. So I call it a post-season assessment. Now, what we're looking for here are clues and information and themes that are then going to inform us and help us to make better decisions this winter and leading up to the next race season, the 2020 race season, okay? So, what we can do first of all is we can identify some key events through this season, i.e. your best results and your worst results. So here, I've just made something up, so I haven't been racing this year, and I don't come first either. Couple of best results here, 2 or 3, and then 2 or 3 of your worst results. Now, on the worst results, it's always good to take out things that are outside of your control. Maybe you're a motocross rider and someone punts into you, takes you out, or maybe we're having mechanicals on your bike or something like that. Take those out of the system, unless there's a recurring theme and you're always having the same issue. You're always getting punctures on the, on your rear wheel on the mountain bike. In which case, well, maybe there's an issue here and you need to change your setup. But let's take those out of the system and just think about you, your body, your performance, and how you approach the race. So we've got a couple of good results here and a couple of not so good ones here. Now, what we need to look at is try and look back at your training diary and any notes you made at the time and any thoughts about those, and try and identify why those were the case. So why did you do so well in rounds 2 and rounds 3 where you came first and second? Well, maybe you came into them with a real high level of fitness, just straight out the off season. This is early in the season. You've got a good level of fitness, but you're actually pretty fresh as well because you haven't done lots of racing. The motivation is high, the freshness is high. Maybe one of these tracks particularly suits your style of riding. You like the venue, you always go well there and things like that. There may be other things as well where, the week leading up to the event, have a look at your training diary. Are there any themes there about how you approached race week for both of those weeks? What information is there that's going to help you to figure out how to repeat these performances? And similarly, for these races here where you didn't go so well, what was the case there? Were you fatigued because you're midway through and then at the end of the season less motivated? Had you missed training? Had you been ill? Had work been intense? Did you change your training maybe and maybe overdo it a little bit? Too much, a bit too much conditioning mid-season, knackering yourself out, not enough bike time, and then you don't quite have that raw race speed that you wanted, for instance. So it's all about going through systematically, both with your memory and also any training or race diaries that you may have kept from those early season races. They then give you the whys, so why did I get a good result? Why did I get a not so good result? And then what we've got then is information that we can apply when you're planning this winter's training. So going into the winter, at the moment, coming into October, you're going to have a bit of a break, which I'm going to talk about later. But then when you kick off training at the end of October, going into November, you're going to map out your winter going into the next season. But you really want to think about, what's this winter training going to look like? Is it going to be really similar to last year? Or, have there been any major mistakes I need to work on? And if there's certain things I've figured out that really work well for me, then I'm going to maybe try and add a little bit more of that type of training into my routine so that we get more of these and less of these next winter. So it doesn't even take very long. You just need to be systematic. Write it down like I have on a grid, and then it gives you those things to work on. So, for instance, it may become apparent there's a specific race week routine and eating and warm up that works really well for you. Write it down, make it solid, practice it through the winter, and then it's second nature when you go racing. Okay, so real simple, write it down, post-season assessment, and that's going to then help to inform the training that you do this winter. In part 2 of this week's Factory Knowledge, I'm going to talk about your post-season break before we start training. So if you finished racing now or this weekend, then it's going to be October on Tuesday, October 2019, if you're watching this another time. And for most of you who race in the summer, now is the time to have a break from structured training. Now, that means no program, no plan, no Strava, training peaks, heart rate data, power data. I really like to get my athletes to unplug at this time of year. If they want to go ride their bikes, because they want to ride their bikes or do whatever sport you do, then do it. But just do it with a little less intensity. It doesn't matter how far you ride, how hard you ride. Unplug all the data, because it's all added stress. We want to just unplug from it all and just enjoy riding for the pure fun of it and nothing else, okay? And this is really important for having that mental and physical break at the end of what can be an intense race season, and it also then means that you're mentally and physically prepared with good energy to go forward and train hard through the winter months. And I'd recommend starting at the end of October, start of November. That's the ideal time to start your winter training, thinking about a race season starting maybe mid to late March if it's early, but for most of you probably starting in April. So there's other things that you can do through this period. Now, a lot of people actually, they like to put their mountain bikes and their motocross bikes away, just don't touch them for a few weeks, and that's fine. You're not going to suddenly lose all your skills and lose all your fitness. Maybe you go and do something else. Maybe you can go swimming, you can go walking. You can just actually chill out a bit, although I wouldn't have a month sitting on the sofa, because that isn't going to help you start your season correctly. Are there some new skills you want to learn? Is there something you want to do for yourself as a person or for your family? So you can dedicate a bit more time to them before you then have to start making sacrifices if you're a top level athlete, or even for an amateur athlete. You have to make sacrifices if you want to be able to train hard. So I really want to drill it into you that at the end of the season, it's really tempting, and I'm getting emails in my inbox now, okay? People want to be straight on it. Right, last race, I want my winter program a week later and I want to start going. And as much as I want your money and I want to coach you, I push back against people and say, no, you need to wait, and we'll start this in a couple of weeks' time at the bare minimum, but ideally you're going to have 3 or 4 weeks off. On that note, my complete programs are all launching again this October in the next couple of weeks. Now, previously I've run the complete mountain bike program for the last year, and it's gone really well. I've had loads of great feedback on that, and I'm actually going to be splitting that now into 2 parts. First of all, it's going to be the complete mountain bike program for trail and enduro riders, and then there's going to be the complete program for downhill riders as well. And also, for the first time, I'm going to be offering the complete motocross program. All 3 of those are monthly subscription-based programs where you get a full program every 4 weeks. So that's strength and conditioning, it's mobility, it's your aerobic work, your endurance work, your intervals, your sprints, everything you need to either race at a good level next summer, or just to be a badass rider, mountain bike or motocrosser who does it for fun and maybe never does a race. Either way, it's a really great program. We get really good results on it. It's £32 per calendar month. It's available worldwide, and every month you just get the program straight to your inbox. It's really flexible. I understand that you're all busy people, and so there's lots of different options for different abilities and different amounts of time. So if you're interested in that, then drop me a line and I'll keep you in the loop of when it comes out. Otherwise, just keep an eye on my social media because it'll be launching soon. So thanks so much. If you enjoyed this week's Factory Knowledge, and please do drop me a comment, drop me a question, like it, share it, all that good stuff. And if you want to know something specific for next week, then just drop me a line on the social media and I'll get back to you. Thanks so much.